Hey, this is Warren Redlick. We are driving the new Tesla Model Y. We are in Thailand. This is the first time I've been down here. We're at the southern edge of Krabi. And you can see the Model Y. You see some kind of Royal Thai Navy fighter plane or plane and some kind of Royal Thai Navy ship. And then you can see just, it's called the Andaman Sea. So the southern edge of the town, you actually get some ocean views. Model Y in Thailand. Just wanted to talk a little bit about the experience of driving the new Tesla Model Y, particularly in Thailand, but in general. It's a remarkably quiet car. I've had a 2018 Tesla Model 3, and I've had a 2022 Tesla Model X Plaid. The Model X Plaid is also a very quiet car. It's very good at absorbing bumps in the road. The Model X is also very good at that, but compared to the previous generation Model 3 and the previous generation Model Y, I think the new Model Y is a huge level up in terms of that quality of the experience. Typical for Tesla, the acceleration is amazing, fantastic. I think it's 0 to 100 kilometers or 0 to 60 miles an hour in about 4.4 seconds, which is great. You can see here there's a turn signal lever. There's no shift lever. Shifting is done up here, but the car actually predicts whether you want to go forward or backward. And I would say it's about 90% accurate so far. It may be that it will learn over time and it'll get more accurate. So if you're doing a 3-point turn, the car typically knows to shift, and it prompts you to hit the brake and turn the wheel, and then it will shift for you. I am hopeful that there will be a longer Model Y produced sometime soon, that maybe 30 centimeters, 1 foot longer, that gives you a legit third row, but we haven't seen that yet. Little features, you can't really see it in the daytime, but it has the strip with the neon lights. You can choose your color. My wife loves to change the color on me, so one day it's orange, one day it's blue. The cabin overheat protection works really well. We come out to the car in the middle of the day, and the car, is capped at about 40 degrees Celsius, which is around 100 degrees. So it's never too hot in the car. Just wanted to show you Model Y in the downtown Krabi setting. Krabi, Thailand is a nice town. The handling, the way the car feels, we're about to make a U-turn, Glaprot in Thai. And the handling in the middle of sharp cornering or just on curvy roads or hilly roads, it's very confident, really good road feel. It's tricky because the last car I drove in America, significantly was the Model X Plaid, which is a great car. The last car I've driven for the last year or so has been my wife's 2015 Honda City, which is smaller than a Honda Civic. And it's a much better experience than driving, even my wife agrees, it's a much better experience than driving the 2015 Honda City. A lot of traffic here in Krabi. This is the traffic coming from the airport. And we're behind a little Suzuki. This car looks like a spaceship compared to almost everything else on the road. It really stands out in terms of the look. All the other cars feel like they're 10 years old. There's a couple of, maybe it's a Hyundai minivan or something that looks a little bit more futuristic, but almost everything else looks old and tired. And Suzukis apparently don't like to make a U-turn. But here we go. So nice, smooth, and then we can accelerate like crazy. And then we have to slow down because everybody else drives slow. And we also installed the official Tesla black mesh for the roof, glass roof, that really reduces the, we're in Thailand where it gets very sunny. Today's a rainy day, but it can get very sunny and the sun can get really harsh on you. And you've got these clips here that hold it in place. There's a few of them around. He gave us some extra clips. This was not a lot of money for great protection. The interior space is great. The frunk is great. We use the frunk for durian. Durian is a popular Thai fruit that is smelly. So if you have something that's smelly, you put it in the front trunk or the frunk, and then you don't get the smell in your car. The rear cargo area is huge. We go on shopping runs. It's comical for Thailand that you go literally fill up 2 shopping carts, and it's less than $100, and it all fits easily in the back of this car. We don't have to use another seat or anything. Really, and then we charge at home. So in Thailand, in America, you're limited to 120 volts, 12 amps typically. unless you hook up to the dryer outlet, so you get 1 kilowatt. In Thailand, the default is 240 volts or 230, and typically 16 amps, which works out to 4 kilowatts. So we bought the Tesla mobile connector, not included with the car, and you can get close to 4 kilowatts at your house. So we actually dialed it down to 10 amps instead of 16. For some reason, the car is only recognizing 13 amps out of the 16 that's there, but I dial it down to 10 to make sure we don't burn out the wiring or the outlet. We're about to move to a new house, and we will make sure we have a 20 amp outlet, and then we'll be able to jack it up to 16 amps and be able to get 4 kilowatts. So, if you're charging for 10 hours, which is less than you would typically charge in a day at home, then you get 40 kilowatt hours, which is more than half the battery pack. And, if you drive a lot, like we drive, I don't know, less than 100 kilometers a day, probably less than 50 kilometers a day. So 50 kilometers is 30 miles. Maybe we drive 50 miles a day, I don't know. So it's very easy to charge the car at home when that's your situation. For some people, they don't have access to an outlet. Okay, that's difficult. Where we live here in Krabi, there's no supercharger, but if you're just road tripping, Tesla's supercharger network is at least adequate. There's enough. We drove from Bangkok to here. There were 3 superchargers on the way. We really only needed 1 if we had pushed it. So overall, great experience. Really happy here. Really happy with this car, and inexpensive too. I think it's 4.5 or so baht per kilowatt hour. It works out to about the quarter of the price of paying for gasoline. If you're at the superchargers, it's 7.1 or something bahts per kilowatt hour. So it's a little bit, maybe about 50% more than charging at home if you charge the supercharger, if you can find one. And then there are other charging networks. The biggest one is called PTT, which is the largest gas station company. My experience with them previously was it was not a reliable network to use, and I think generally speaking, the charging networks are not that reliable if they're not Tesla superchargers. There probably are exceptions, but I haven't found them yet. So if you can charge at home, great. If you have access to a Tesla supercharger, great. If you don't, and if you can't charge at home, if you don't have an outlet and you don't have the ability to install a Tesla wall charger, then and in general, any EV, I would say it's less desirable to get one. And I'll just comment briefly on other EVs that are available here in Thailand. It's very different from the United States. We have a lot of Chinese EVs. BYDs in particular are very common. The BYD Atto 3 and the BYD Dolphin are smaller than the Model Y significantly. Very inexpensive, under maybe $17,000 for the Dolphin. A friend of ours just bought a Dolphin. About a little over $20,000 for the Atto 3, and that's it's a pretty decent quality EV, but their charge rates are very slow. At a DC fast charger, I think the Dolphin's limited to 60 kilowatts, and the Atto 3 is limited to 80 or 88 kilowatts. This car is 250 kilowatts, so it charges literally 3 times as fast. Teslas are more efficient. Teslas, have better performance. In other words, they get more kilometers or miles per kilowatt hour. And they drive better. They just drive better. And they have better software. Of course, I can tap the microphone and say, hey, let's try it. Take me to Chiang Mai. And you can look at the screen and it's going to pull up directions to Chiang Mai, Thailand, which is about 1,000 miles north. And it shows you all the superchargers you're going to stop at on the way. How many other EVs or cars have that ability to tell you here's where you're going to stop and so on? They don't have it. So very cool. We don't need to go to Chiang Mai today. But maybe that'll be a road trip at some point in the future. So, great experience with the Tesla Model Y. Very happy. This cost more. It was 2 million baht, around $60,000. So it's more expensive than it is in America or China. But, if I wanted to get a Model 3, it would have cost about... The launch edition was a real bargain. 2.06 million baht compared to other offerings from Tesla in Thailand. It included the exterior color. This is glacier blue. It included the interior white seats, which you've seen. It includes acceleration boost, which takes you from maybe 4.8 seconds 0 to 60 to 4.4 seconds 0 to 60. It did include performance wheels, which I decided not to go for because the 20-inch wheels, you're going to get a bumpier feel on the road, and Thai roads can be bumpy. You get better range with this, etc. So we just got these covers for the back of the Model Y. You can see here, this included this piece down in the bottom, and it includes these seat back pieces. It's a nice little touch that these stick up. I guess it's some kind of Velcro. There's one in the front as well. This is from Han Shao. Was very easy to install. I think it's reasonably priced. So here we are. We just stopped at the Big C parking lot, and I just wanted to see, here's the Model Y just sitting around where the regular cars are. I hope you enjoy the Model Y video, and I hope you buy one. Please check out my Tesla referral code in the description of the video below on YouTube or in the first reply on X. Thanks so much for watching.